us to have up to 100, to have 100.
That is the video of the visit of Mr. Peter Obi to the University of Nigeria Dentistry Department, where he placed a token of 15 million naira to the department. Now I need to give you a background story as to why Mr. Peter Obi visited this university. Reports surfaced this July that the faculty risks losing its accreditation from the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria due to inadequate infrastructure, outdated clinical training equipment, and insufficient laboratory space. The faculty requires approximately 38.8 million naira to upgrade facilities and meet the MDCN standard. UNN is the only institution in the entire Southeast that is permitted to graduate dental surgeons. They are only allowed to graduate just 15 dental surgeons a year. So they needed more resources to upgrade their facilities so that they can accommodate more students. So failure to do that means their accreditation will be revoked. The report surfaced and it got to the hearing of Mr. Peter Obi, and he promised to do something about it. So that is the reason why he visited them today. You can see the enthusiasm on the face of the student. You can see the hope Mr. Peter Obi has brought to them. You can see the happiness. And of course, he donated 15 million naira to the department. He also promised to rally around and get more people to support the department. You need to understand that UNN is an iconic university. It is the first fully indigenous university in Nigeria. When I mean indigenous, I mean a university that is associated with Nigeria. A university initiated and established by Nigerians. It is a federal government university. Now you can see how pathetic it is that a federal government-owned university is underfunded. This crisis at the Faculty of Dentistry, University of Nigeria, is a glaring example that Nigerian educational system is in a state of decay. Because explain to me, like I'm a 1-year-old baby, why the only faculty in the whole of the Southeast that can graduate dental surgeon is underfunded. This crisis is not isolated. It reflects a broader neglect of education by successive Nigerian government, who prioritize flashy projects like the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway or purchasing presidential jet over investing in the nation's future. The crisis in the dentistry department at UNN did not start today. Since its inception, it has faced significant challenges, including a closure from 1992 to 2004 due to accreditation issues with the National Universities Commission (NUC). It was reopened in 2004. It has struggled to meet modern standards, admitting only 15 students annually due to limited resources. This is a far cry from the needs of a region with over 60 million people, where access to quality dental care is already scarce. Successive governments just come and go and forget that Nigeria has education. Nigeria's educational sector is plagued by chronic issues, overcrowded lecture halls, outdated curricula, insufficient teaching staff, and dilapidated facilities. As of 2017, only 43% of university lecturers held PhD degrees. An institution like the University of Abuja had lecturer-to-student ratio as high as 1 to 122. Rural schools are in an even worse state, with crumbling buildings and no access to basic resources like books or laboratories. The 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination result highlighted this decline, with over 1.5 million candidates failing, a stark indicator of a failing system. Mr. Peter Obi, speaking on this issue, described the result as disheartening, indication of Nigeria's deteriorating educational system. While UNN Faculty of Dentistry struggles to secure 38.8 million naira for their upgrade, the Nigerian government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu has poured billions of dollars into projects like the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, a 700-kilometer infrastructural project estimated to cost over 15 trillion naira. And this same Bola Ahmed Tinubu is splashing $150 million in purchase of a new presidential jet. whereas schools in Nigeria are underfunded. Education, which should be the cornerstone of national development, received a paltry share of Nigerians' budget. In 2022, the education sector was allocated just 5.4% of the national budget, far below the UNESCO recommended 15 to 20% for developing nations. This underfunding has left universities like UNN unable to maintain basic facilities, let alone compete globally. The contrast is stark. While the government spent billions on coastal highway, UNN Dentistry faculty cannot afford basic laboratory equipment. This misplacement of priorities is not new. Successive administrations have neglected education, leaving Nigeria with one of the highest numbers of out-of-school children globally, estimated at 20 million in 2024. The Tinubu's administration focus on projects like the coastal roads or presidential jets reflect a lack of vision for long-term development. These projects, while potentially beneficial, do little to address immediate needs like education and healthcare, which are critical for human capital development. As Mr. P2B noted in his lecture at UNN, for Nigeria to compete with developed nations, the country must massively invest in education by allocating adequate funds in the annual budget. The failure to do so perpetuates a cycle of poverty and underdevelopment, as uneducated youth are left without the skills to contribute meaningfully to the society. Education is the foundation of progress for any nation. It equips citizens with the knowledge and skills to innovate, solve problems, and drive economic growth. No country has achieved sustainable development without prioritizing education. As P2B has repeatedly stated, education is the most important investment you can make in humanity. This is not mere rhetoric. History and global examples prove it. Take South Korea, for example, which transformed from one of the world's poorest nations after the Korean War to a global economic powerhouse within decades. In the 1960s, South Korea invested heavily in education, achieving near universal literacy by the 1980s. The government prioritized teacher training, modernized curricula, and ensured equitable access to schools, even in rural areas. By 2023, South Korea literacy rate stood at 98%, and its universities ranked among the world's best. This investment fueled technological innovation, with companies like Samsung and Hyundai becoming global leaders. South Korea's GDP per capita rose from $79 in 1960 to over $33,000 in 2023, a testament to education's transformative power. Similarly, Finland turned its education system into a global model by focusing on teacher quality, student-centered learning, and equitable access. In the 1970s, Finland faced economic challenges, but reforms prioritizing free education, well-paid teachers, and innovative curricula lifted it to the top of global education rankings by the 2000s. Today, Finland's students consistently outperform others in international assessment, and its economy thrives on innovation and skill labor. In contrast, Nigeria's neglect of education has left it with a 31% illiteracy rate and a literacy rate of just 69% as of 2022. The correlation between education and development is clear. Countries that invest in education see higher GDP growth, lower poverty rate, and improved life expectancy. Nigerians' failure to prioritize education has resulted in 133 million people living in multi-dimensional poverty, with limited skills to escape it. Education empowers individuals, reduces inequality, and drives innovation. Without it, Nigeria cannot prosper. Nigerian political class has consistently failed to prioritize education, undermining the nation's future. The systemic neglect is evident in the low budgetary allocations, frequent strike by academic staff, and the exodus of talent due to poor conditions. Politicians often focus on short-term, visible projects to gain public favor, ignoring the long-term benefits of education. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, for instance, is a high-profile project that garners media attention, but it does little to address the immediate needs of millions of young Nigerian youths who lack access to quality education. The lack of vision is compounded by corruption, which drain resources meant for education. Funds allocated to universities are often misappropriated, leaving institutions like UNN struggling to survive. The consequences are dire. Nigerian youths, who make up over 60% of the population, are left unprepared for the modern economy. Graduates lack the skills to compete globally due to outdated curricula and lack of practical training. This is the reason why Mr. Peter Obi stands out as a beacon of hope, going in to help the dentistry department of UNN while others look away. This is not an isolated act. Peter Obi has consistently prioritized education and health, donating millions of his personal money to educational institutions in a single week. This is a clear reminder and warning that Nigerians should do everything possible to ensure that Mr. Peter Obi become the president. Nigerians should not lose Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi is the best man and the only hope for Nigerians to escape this poverty. Mr. Peter Obi is the only president that can revitalize Nigerian healthcare and education. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.